Good day everyone, so Kirara is obviously out and I think I want to do a bit of a C0 Kirara Hyperbloom sort of showcase. It's just going to be a little bit of a for fun team because I haven't seen anyone else do it, but it's just to sort of give you an indication of like what her playstyle is and what you should be thinking about with her. So before we get into that, of course, here are the builds, and as you can see I've adjusted my Kokomi downwards, so the numbers that you'll see in the Spiral Abyss will be reflective of the numbers that you would likely see on your account with your Kokomi. So this is the one nice thing about Kokomi, you can always adjust appropriately. But in any case, of course, here is Kirara. You saw her stats. I've already crowned her because I really like the character, and obviously right here at the end is Kole. I really don't suggest that you use Kole, not because there's anything wrong with her, just because Kole is really for experienced players. She's such a difficult unit, but very rewarding. In any case, so let's start off with the Hyperbloom. We set up our reactions, we use our Cookie's Elemental Burst, we swap off Kirara, and the moment the electricity goes away, we use Cookie's E ability. So that's generally how you really want to play Cookie. You don't want to just spam E and Q like one after the other, but you want to have a bit of an interval. And then look at that, we can just sort of take care of the enemies and just have a bit of fun here with Kirara, quickly positioning and obviously applying Dendro. Note a little boomerang from Kole, Elemental Burst to iframe the enemy so that they don't hit us and knock us out of our jellyfish range, resetting on Cookie Shinobu, and just now going to hit the enemies. It's not worthwhile really applying a new sort of jellyfish. We only want to do it once we've got a stable position. Here's Kirara giving us a shield, hitting the enemies, applying Dendro onto them. This is one of those sort of things that's not always easy to notice, but there's a lot more than just like using your E and your Q ability that's going on. There's a bit of like positioning, a bit of with Kirara like knocking the enemies, applying extra instances of Dendro, using Cookie Shinobu to hunt down any loose like cores and so on. There's quite a lot of bit of like technique and so on happening here, but ultimately that's what makes this so fun. Just these Hyperbloom teams like the Nilo Bloom teams have an order in which you should be playing them to get like the most effects and so on. And as you can see here in the background, what we want to try and do is maximize like our Dendro production such that we can hit the enemy. Of course, there is a bit of an internal limit of 0.5 seconds, so even if we get quite a lot of Dendro and Electro and all these things going, we can still only do so much damage. And the unfortunate thing about this very specific team is that we don't have an extra strong additional damage source. So this is typically where, if let's say you replaced someone like Kole for, let's say, Official, or for Yamiko or something like that, you'd get a bit of more of like a damage bump. But of course Kirara on her own at C0 is not a very good consistent Dendro applicator, unless you keep on just crashing into the enemy. So you definitely need like more like a C4 or a C1 if you're just going to use her as a solo applicator, and that's actually what I wanted to sort of demonstrate in this video. This is why we are using a Kole, just to give us that extra bit of a damage bump. But yeah, I mean, that is just what I wanted to showcase to you guys today. Just a fun little team. I don't advise using it. A lot of the other content creators have probably like better teams to use, but I just want to sort of show you the types of variations you could be running, and ultimately how comfy Kirara is. Very good. Alright, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.